Hello everyone, I'm Concetta Tavoletta, PhD in Architectural Design and Adjunct Professor to the University of Campania in Italy. First of all, I want to thank the organizers of the conference. I'm really happy to be able to share with you my research focus on Mediterranean project made by Gio Ponti, Luigi Cosenza and Beran Rudowski. I'm very keen to inform you that this research is part of the Mediterranean Ways International Research Cluster created by Prof. Mose Ricci for the Accademia dei Lincei. My work started from Domus number 152, dedicated to the theme of beach houses. As we know, Gio Ponti founded the Domus magazine in the same year of the first Congress International d'Architettura Moderna. Gio Ponti has always thought that the house was not only a machine habitaire, and for this reason it is important to compare these two events. In Domus number 88, he had already been interested in the theme of the Mediterranean. These are the pages in which he tells to some photos of the project of the architect Giuseppe Capponi in Capri. Some symbolic places of the European continent and also the coast of Campania in Italy have always been part of the Grand Tour, which involved therefore some symbolic places of the Mediterranean. In this image, we see the photos that Gideon took during the first Siam of the ship Paris II and which touched many places such as Santorini. Here we see some frames of the film shot by Molinari during Fort Siam. It was evident that the idealization of the Mediterranean icons and with them of the classical world has an incredible influence, so much so that it became a beacon for the modern moment. One of the favorite places for this classical Mediterraneanism became Capri, the manifesto of an ideal total project of the inland sea. Among the numerous figures who ventured into the Capri imagination, one of the most impressed his influence was Edwin Cerio. The Caprese Accademia, as Giuseppe Capponi defined it, is one of the examples of what we can define an exasperation of imperfection. If on the one hand we see the Caprese Academy, we do, however, see a new idea of lifestyle rise. If with Cerio Caprese Accademia the tradition was emphasized by evoking and even including lyricism, Gio Ponti and Emilio Lancia with Domus Nova Holiday Home shows the first attempt to compose an evident relationship with the landscape. A further step toward the independence from the ideals of classicism to a new vision of living is taken with the Casa La Pompeiana, where Ponti tried to rework the patio theme. However, the project what will be fundamental for a new idea of living in the Mediterranean was a house in Positano and other shores by Beran Rudowski and Luigi Cosenza that Ponti saw in Casabella. Rudowski's ideas become central to what will be the new idea of living linked to the Mediterranean. One of Rudowski's favorite activities during his tour was the redesign place. He loved to draw, and from the type of reproduction, from the interpretation of his favorite subject, we understand the influence that his architectural references have had. On Domus 109, House in Positano and Other Shores is then published, which is one of the three fundamental projects for the new idea of Mediterranean. The space consists of the two levels, where the ground floor appears as a continuous surface, a rock that turns into a lepidus boulder and invites you to walk through the house with bare feet. The upper floor contains a closed room, the bedroom which, through a window, observed the natural context. The choice of stone and the plaster derives from the desire to emphasize the relationship between matter and purity, or, as Ponti writes, to satisfy his lyricism. After his project, Ponti asked to Beran Rudowski to publish an article not only for describe the project, but to tell his vision of the idea of home, and him used Procida as a place of the new idea of life. The powerful images contained in Domus, and which made this project famous, underline the revolutionary abacus. The Positano Cliff is a safe landing place for the pure architecture defined by limestone block and the poor white plaster. If Procida remains the ideal place for Rudowski and Cosenza, Capri is instead the experimentation space chosen by Ponti and Rudowski, who in 1938 designed un albergo nel bosco in Nana Capri. Using a beautiful sloping site, the architects concentrated the main common service in the entrance building and then dispersed the room, single or double, in the scabbled wood, like many single houses, providing a careful interpretation not only of the landscape but of a Capri life by designing for the first time a real wide-speed hotel. Another variation of the theme is the Hotel du Campo for the Eden Rock in Antibes, which always develops on the idea of creating a village and not just holiday homes. At the beginning of this story on the architecture of the inland sea, we're talking about the descriptive force of this issue. Ponti made it clear that the project should not be as a stupid imitation in falsehood in folklore, but a true interpretation of the constitutive elements. This triptych of a project has probably, in a totally unconscious way, also determined the Mediterranean style and way of living, as Rudowski would say. In that edition of Domus, we can find house on the Sicilian Sea. The house is imagined in Sicily, and also the graphic narrative mode is directly linked to the Rudowski classical imaginary. Here we see the ground floor plan and the first floor plan, and the beautiful perspective and the perspective section. Here we find some projects that are indebted to the secret of the Mediterranean imagined by Ponti, Cosenza, and Rudowski. From now, we can see other projects inspired by the right dream made by Ponti, Cosenza, and Rudowski. The influence of the house in Procida is also clearly visible in the Marco Zanuso project for the very famous twin houses in Arzachena in Sardinia. In this project, relieves the idea of the primitive intended as a story for basic needs consisting of the absence of limit between inside and outside, and were mentors to nature by composing a space in which to live in communion with it. The house in Positano and other shore is instead an inspiration for other stereo projects, such as the house and the ideal by Giulio De Luca. The link with the idea of the new way of living of the villa is clear for a man who needs to relate to the landscape. The inside and the outside is obviously a single design move that sees the outside as a monolith of stone and glass. In Giulio Minolet's project, the stone wall is the element of continuity between the house and the landscape, an inverse bastion that is not only reflected in the base of Villa Oro, but above all in the work of the horizontality of the house in Positano. The idea that comes out of the project of Luigi Cosenza, Bernardo Rudowski, and Gio Ponti, as described for some project of the following years, becomes a small Mediterranean brewery that will be possible to find in the project previously included, but also in the world of Antonio Coder, Caris Costantinidis, Luigi Moretti, and all those who made the relationship with the domestic landscape and the natural compositional element of the project. Below I show you two of my projects that were born starting from the Mediterranean brewery that Ponti, Cosenza, and Rudowski gave us. This house is dedicated who want to live in communion with all the elements of the nature. The landscape and the rock are grafted into every part of the project, which therefore manifests itself as a voluntary derivation of the natural element. Access is to the two walls that lead to the center of the inhabited space. On the right of the entrance wall, there are two seats that point towards the horizon. Each domestic activity is contained in the room island, and almost all the space open towards the center, a place where it will be possible to relax under a curtain that invites to experience the outdoor space of the house. The central pergola is partly paved and partly left in stone, so as to allow the guest to experience both to anthropization and the wild aspect of nature. The only block that does not interact with the center is the bathroom, which is imagined as a place dedicated to isolation and meditation through a bathtub overlooking the rock. The person's space is all focused on the idea of embarking on a journey between matter, body, and sky. The Island House is a project in which naturalist and nature try to contribute to the same architectural material. Here we can find the perspective. In this case, we read the relationship between the curtain and the housing blocks. Here is the axonometry that summarizes the state between mass and lightness. This house is designed for those who love the constant relationship with water, which becomes a crucial part of the entrance space. Access to the house is only from the sea, throughout archaic and contemporary timeless walls. The water arrives to the circular space that with the columnate bring to mind the sacredness of the impluvium. Upon crossing the circular area, there is the house made up of two asymmetrical elements that are visible. The first block on the left is a space dedicated to the body that ends with a springboard that allows to the reactivated spatial story that starts from the water and leads back to it. Inside the body on the right, there are the domestic elements that require closure, such as the bathroom and the kitchen, intended as a service space. The whole house opens up to the open air central, the true heart of the house that opens up towards the landscape. The protagonist of the project is the horizon, intended as a relationship with the landscape, not only out but also in. As in the Pontian Tales, the entire interior space finds its power in the observation of the outside that determines and sets the pace of the project. Here we can find a perspective, entrance from the sea, and an axonometry that summarizes the relationship with the water and architecture. Thank you very much.